What if I told you the most dangerous war in history was never actually fought? No explosions, no battlefield. Just one meeting, one signature, and a single moment of fear that quietly decided the fate of millions who didn't even know they had been sacrificed. History usually remembers wars by bloodshed, by fallen soldiers, and by cities turned to ash. But this story is different. This is the story of a war that never truly happened, yet still managed to change the course of the world. No bullets were fired, no armies clashed on the battlefield, and yet, millions would later pay the price for the decision made that day. It was 1938, and Europe stood on the edge of another catastrophe. Adolf Hitler was rising fast, projecting an image of unstoppable power. To the outside world, Germany looked ready for war. But behind closed doors, the truth was far more fragile. Germany's military was not fully prepared. Its generals were nervous, its economy strained, and many inside the government feared that a real war would end in disaster. Still, Hitler chose confidence over caution, and the world believed him. Hitler demanded control of a region called the Sudetenland, a small but strategic part of Czechoslovakia. It wasn't just land he wanted, it was submission. Czechoslovakia had a strong army, modern defenses, and allies who were legally bound to protect it. If war had broken out then, Germany might have been stopped before it truly began. But fear spoke louder than reason. Britain and France, haunted by memories of the First World War, chose peace at any cost. In a quiet meeting in Munich, leaders decided the fate of a nation that wasn't even allowed in the room. Without a single shot being fired, Sudetenland was handed over to Hitler. The world called it diplomacy. History would later call it surrender. When Hitler returned home, he was celebrated as a hero. His confidence turned into certainty. He had learned a dangerous lesson, that the world would step back if he stepped forward boldly enough. The war that never happened gave him the courage to start the wars that did. Within a year, Europe was burning. Cities fell, millions died, and the world plunged into the deadliest conflict in human history. Looking back, historians still ask the same haunting question. What if that first war had been fought? What if fear hadn't won? Sometimes the most destructive battles are the ones we choose not to fight. Here's the twist no one talks about. The war that never happened didn't prevent destruction, it delayed it, and made it far worse. By surrendering without a fight, the world didn't save lives. It taught a dictator that fear was his greatest weapon. The real tragedy isn't that no shots were fired in 1938. It is that when the shots finally came, they were louder, deadlier, and impossible to stop. And that leaves us with a chilling thought. Sometimes history isn't changed by the wars we lose, but by the ones we were too afraid to fight.